in search of projects where state assistance will result in construction. Over the months, they have considered hundreds of proposals.
Each candidate who received 3 votes would be deemed to be a finalist. The minutes of August 25, 2009 do not provide the board members recorded roll call votes stating their individual positions on whether to interview each candidate. Applicant. Votes in executive session must be recorded, roll call votes. General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B. All votes taken in executive session, in bold, shall be recorded by roll call votes and shall become part of the record of said executive sessions. Under General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B, in parentheses, emphasis added, this failure to record the roll call votes that resulted in an interview process for 9 of the 22 applicants violated the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B. On September 1, 2009, the board conducted 2 interviews in executive session. On September 3, 2009, the board conducted 3 interviews in executive session, and on September 8, 2009, the board convened an executive session to discuss the interview process, among other matters. On September 10, 2009, the board convened an executive session and interviewed 4 candidates. On September 14, 2009, the board convened an executive session and narrowed the pool of candidates to 4 finalists to be re-interviewed. Again, the executive session minutes do not contain the recorded roll call vote that narrowed the 9 applicants to 4 finalists. General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B, instead, the September 14th minutes read, round-robin voting on 9 candidates, 4 chosen to be interviewed again. This failure to record the roll call votes that reduced the pool to 4 finalists violated open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B. These minutes show that the Wareham Board of Selectmen violated the open meeting law 6 times between August 25th and September 14th, 2009, by meeting in 6 executive sessions to consider and interview applicants for the position of town administrator without any valid purpose and by failing to record at least 2 roll call votes as required by the statute. On October 3, 2009, the board held a meeting on a Saturday. During that meeting, 3 finalists were interviewed separately. The board has preferred that this meeting was open to the public. These minutes are silent as to the reason for the reduction of the number of finalists from 4 to 3. The open meeting law requires that the board maintain accurate minutes. General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B. The board failed to set forth the reason for the absence of the 4th finalist, whether it was from withdrawal by the finalist or by a vote of the board. If it was done by a vote of the board, that vote should have been a recorded roll call vote. Once the applicants passed a prior preliminary screening, there was no legal purpose to justify any executive sessions by the board or even a screening committee. General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B, Number 8. However, on October 13th of 2009, the board met in executive session to discuss the selection process, town administrator search, a named individual to be told he is not a finalist. The 3 finalists to be interviewed on October 20th at the Selectmen's meeting, see minutes of October 13th, 2009 executive session, and parentheses. It should be noted that the identified individual referenced on October 13th was not the 4th finalist named on September 14th. Consequently, the executive session of October 13th, 2009 violated the open meeting law of General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B for Number 8. On October 20th, 2009, the Board of Selectmen interviewed 3 finalists in open session as required by the open meeting law statute, General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B, Number 8. On October 26, 2009, the board met again in open session, and minutes reflect the following discussion. Selectman Cruz asked if the board was going to vote on a town administrator. He said it was on the agenda, but not on the amended agenda. Chairman Savageau stated that he removed it from the agenda because Selectman Cronin could not be in attendance, and he thought it was unfair for the board to take a vote without Mr. Cronin being there. Selectman Cruz asked why we couldn't vote anyway, as we stated at the last Selectmen's meeting that we would be voting on it tonight. Chairman Savageau stated he did not want to leave Selectman Cronin out of the process, but the members could discuss their preferences if the applicants, could discuss their preferences in the applicants to gauge where we stood. A brief discussion ensued. RE, each selectman's preferences, there was no clear consensus. It was recommended by Selectman Ekstrom that we wait to vote until the background checks are completed, as they may sway someone's vote. In the meantime, we could take the time to review the other candidates that were not our first choice to see if we could agree on one. Selectman Donahue concurred and also suggested that we should also wait to vote because this meeting was not being televised and people may want to hear our discussion. Selectman Cruz asked about what things could be or could not be in the contract, as there were specific issues he wanted addressed. Chairman Savageau suggested we discuss the contract specifics at a later meeting, as it was time to adjourn to attend town meeting. On November 3rd, 2009, the board met once again in executive session for purpose number 3. The minutes state, discuss by charter, must be a 4/5 vote to approve candidate. Salary range not to exceed $110,000. The executive session of November 3rd, 2009 violated the open meeting law, general law, chapter 39, section 23B, for number 8. The board has attempted to justify its executive session discussions on October 13th and November 3rd that occurred after the board narrowed the field of applicants to 3 finalists on September 14th by citing purpose number 3, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel under general law, chapter 39, section 23B, number 3. Underlined, District Attorney for the Northern District versus School Committee of Wayland, Mass 561, 568 of 2009, where, however, the board's minutes show that the board was not discussing contract negotiations, but was discussing the interview process in executive session. On October 13, 2009, there was no discussion of a contract at all. Instead, the board was concerned about breaking the news to a particular candidate who did not make the final cut. The board also discussed the process for the public interviews of the 3 candidates and the TA search generally. This private discussion was not permissible in executive session under purpose number 8 because the finalists had already been chosen, or under purpose number 3 because the board did not discuss the contract negotiations at all. Underlined, District Attorney for the Northern District versus School Committee of Wayland, again Mass at 568. And their discussion is where purpose number 8 prohibits the executive session discussion of a selection of a candidate after a prior preliminary screening. The board may not use a different executive session purpose to accomplish a prohibited private discussion. ID, in parentheses, where professional competence is precluded from executive session discussions under purpose number 1, a body may not use purpose number 3 to discuss professional competence for contract negotiations, end of parentheses. Further, the board's purpose for the executive session on October 13th to discuss strategy and preparation for contract negotiations required that it actually discuss contract negotiations. ID at 567, District Attorney for the Northwest District versus the Board of Selectmen of Sunderland, 11 Mass, Appellate Court of 1981. And that says, therefore, the October 13th executive session was conducted in violation of the open meeting law. On November 3rd, 2009, the executive session discussion revolved first around the upcoming vote for the town administrator. The remaining discussion about the amount of salary in the contract was permissible under purpose number 3. However, the board did not confine its executive session conversations to strategy for contract negotiations because the executive session included a discussion about the upcoming vote for the town administrator. And underlined is District Attorney for the Northern District versus the School Committee of Wayland. Thus, the discussion of the vote for the town administrator was required to take place in an open session, ID at 567 through 568. Therefore, the Wareham Board of Selectmen violated their open meeting law on October 13th and November 3rd, 2009 by discussing by discussing the town administrator search